Wow, I have the worst stats in that intro. I never saw that before.
I know. Everybody gives me shit about that too, so we're gonna have to change that card eventually. What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 9 of Value Town. I'm your host, ChanManV, and got the boys back here, Krip and Trump. What's up, fellas?
Hey, good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Back from
Good
the
morning.
holidays. Back from the... Actually, Canada, do they celebrate Thanksgiving in Canada?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
just like we're way ahead of you guys.
Okay. But back from Thanksgiving since last Thursday, obviously, was Thanksgiving, and I couldn't do the show last week. It's probably my fault more than anybody else's. But we're back, and we're going to be talking about the Pt.1 tournament, which these two guys casted this last Sunday, Monday. And I actually played in it briefly this Monday, but we'll talk a little bit about it, and then we'll talk about the rogue cards. And then we have a new segment, which is going to be what's the best move. I think that's what I'm calling it. It's basically screenshots of situations in the games, and we're going to have these two guys analyze it and kind of tell us what the best move is. And then we'll end things with Q&A with you guys, just as usual. In the Reddit thread, post your questions, and we'll try to get to them, or at least as many as we can. But let's start off with a 2p.com tournament. Again, this is the tournament that was basically going to end up with NA versus China, like 2 teams of 4, which is going to happen this weekend. And the qualifiers were Sunday and Monday of this past weekend. And what do you guys think? You guys obviously casted quite a few matches. I don't know, you probably casted like 5 or 6 hours those days, I think, or on Mondays.
It wasn't that bad, I don't think.
Okay, let's see.
It was between 4 and 5, somewhere around there.
Was it?
Okay, so
No, the time went by pretty quick. It was
first-
pretty cool.
Yeah, it flies when you're having fun.
Oh, nice. Any specific things you noticed from a standpoint of things you really liked, or maybe even some critiques?
I think the more interesting part was probably the cookie cutter warlock aggro matching up against the cookie cutter somewhat mid game shaman, and Trump and I were like betting on the winner. I still think that the warlock has the upper hand, and Trump, I'm sure, has not released his opinion of shaman just outvaluing it too hard. And I ended up winning that one, but it was because like some guy crashed or DC'd or something. So it ended up that the shaman matchup against the warlock aggro was like 3-2 on my side in the end, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, shaman.
Well, I'm with Trump there because I actually think Shaman's
Sucks.
just
But,
slightly better.
mostly
than the
cookie
Warlock.
cutter stuff.
But all of most of the targets wins were technical.
Most of the cards were technical. Sorry, you broke up a little there.
There's actually a very cool someone on Reddit. I
Oh.
meant I think the shamans of technicals lost because of the T's or severe misplays. But anyways,
Yeah.
someone on the Hearthstone Reddit.
Way to
was so
trash
kind.
talk the competitors, dude.
I'm just saying the shaman has a really good matchup against a warlock. But anyways, the someone on the Hearthstone Reddit actually was so kind to come up with a breakdown of how each classes went. Let me share the link on
Sure.
the chat.
They even had the percentages, I think, laid out, right? Just how many people played
Yeah.
what and that sort of thing. Yeah, let me bring that up real quick.
Some really cool info. I think the most notable is that even though there were a lot of paladins in the top 128, there weren't in the top 32, indicating that they might not be very strong. And there weren't that many rogues, but it ended up over 50% in the top 32. So perhaps rogues are really strong.
Perhaps
Of course,
Yeah.
the
rogues
big
and-
funny
losers
thing
are the
is-
hunter and the warriors.
Here we go.
Funny thing
Here's
is,
the list.
I was watching some of the online tournaments that other people had, and I know they have that King of the Hill thing, and Six's Paladin deck actually smashed the Warlock deck of Savages, if I remember correctly. And that was like the only match that he won. But I do think Paladin has a really good place in the current meta, but you have to play the mini one. Like a lot of people are playing this mid game stuff.
Yeah,
which
you can't
call
do
it-
that.
We saw a lot at like BlizzCon. Like, I think the mid game is not going to work. It's just too slow.
Well, it just gets stomped by that Warlock deck. Kiri's Warlock was basically played all over this tournament. I think, or at least some variation of Kiri's Warlock, and Yeah, the sixes miniature one is a lot better than the slower mid game one. It's like, I mean, the one that you well, you played sixes, right, during BlizzCon? More
Yep.
closer to sixes, right? Okay. Yeah, the Rogue deck too. The Rogue deck, I saw a lot of copies of Kith's Rogue too. So it's like those two decks seem to appear a lot. And then there were a lot of mages, right, guy? Trump. There were quite a few mages during.
Yeah,
your
I just looked at the stats there. That was
Yeah,
a
I mean,
lot
just
of
during your
mages.
cast, I remember seeing. So
Correct.
kind of good stuff.
It's just a very strong, well-rounded deck, and
There were
there's
some
two
very-
ways you can play it.
Yeah, there were some very varying mage decks as well. The slow ones or the fast ones. They were the kind of in between.
Yeah, we were playing a lot of Ice Mage. I know the guys I practice with, and then I know the EU guys were playing a giant version of the Mage deck. I don't know if you guys
Yep.
got a chance to see that. What do you guys think of that deck?
Seems pretty good.
I think that deck is very
it has
strong.
absolutely no chance against the. It has absolutely no chance against the hunter.
Well, no
This is
mage
pretty
has
funny.
no mage has a chance against the hunter.
No,
Well,
that's not true.
some aggro mages do, but any of those ice block mages, they die to hunter if they draw flare. It's like auto loss. I think I was 97% against mages when I was testing hunter against mage.
I think if you run mage aggro and you run the mirror image, I think you actually have
Oh,
a pretty
man.
easy chance against hunter.
Yeah, mirror image is actually really nasty. It's quite a good card. But okay, what do you guys think about just the format, the best of 3 and single elimination? Did you guys think it was, or have any opinions about maybe the randomness? I mean, some of the things I've heard about the tournament is just that because it's single limb, it's so random, and there are RNG aspects of Hearthstone right now. Do you think that was an issue at all?
Not more
Trump-
than normal, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, not more than normal for a best of 3, but I would say for a tournament with this much on the line, I think best of 5 would have been more preferable. Or double elimination. As you eliminate randomness, the downside is it takes longer.
Yeah. So this
I really,
weekend.
I really think like so many of the decks were the same, like on the large scale, that it's really hard to really say that like the Swiss would actually favor like a better deck because they're pretty much the same, like 80% of the time. So
The
Not
Swiss would
really.
help better players, though, right? I mean, if the better players drawing
they're all
worse,
pretty good,
it's
except maybe this one case.
this one case. Oh, ouch. So this weekend is going to be 4v4. It's going to be China versus the NA team. What's the format like for this weekend? Is it just straight up team? I guess like team tennis, like where they just each match up in different, I guess, combinations, or do you guys know it all?
Yeah, it's like the StarCraft Team League format, if you're familiar with that. Or for those of you who enjoy Pokemon, it's like that also. So each side chooses one player first to go up, and then they play a best of 3 in the BlizzCon setup. Each one brings a blind deck, then the loser gets to choose one of their decks, and then whoever loses, the team gets to choose any other player to send against the enemy player. And
Okay,
that's that.
so all kill type of thing where.
Yes.
Okay, great. No, that's good. That's definitely a good format. What day is it going to be? It's going to be on Saturday. Is that correct? So all of us can watch it. Watch you guys casting it.
Yeah, Saturday, 8 p.m. Pacific.
Okay. Oh wow, that's pretty
That it
good
was
over here.
7 Pacific.
Sorry, 7 p.m. Pacific on the 8th. Wait. What?
What?
Uh-oh.
I'm
You're
pretty
checking.
sure it's
Just
8.
want to make sure we have it right, so all of us can watch it.
Uh,
Okay. Well, we still have a few days, I guess, to figure that out. But okay, good stuff. It's really great because this tournament obviously has been the biggest tournament.
Be
of this
there.
Prize with. Be there, exactly. And
Yeah, 5,000 prize pool, yo.
oh, it is.
It's right.
It is
Yeah.
8 on the 7th. I'm being told. Okay,
Okay, good stuff.
whatever.
All right, let's move on to what do we got here? We got the row cards. Let's do our row cards. And we've gotten through 5 classes now, so we're kind of rounding the corner, trying to finish out some of these specific class cards. I know some of you are wondering like when we're going to be doing more and more other segments, and that's coming soon, guys. But I did want to finish this out for all the folks that are just getting into Hearthstone. So Rogue, here we go. So we're going to start with Backstab. I kind of went backwards when I was making this, so I was left with like 1 in the very beginning. So why don't both of you guys do Backstab together, and then we'll start the Trump left, Crip right type of thing. Backstab. Somebody just jump in. What are you doing?
You take it first.
Oh, yeah, Backstab is actually pretty good. It's a card that kills their minion, and it doesn't cost anything. So, usually, it ends up going well because you can kill something and play something. OP, basically.
Trump.
Yeah, it's especially OP if you do the turn 2 Backstab when you're first, and then you play Defice Ringleader, and it's like the scrub with a battle cry of deal 2 damage. It's even better.
Pretty amazing. How would you rank this card versus any other DD spell? Direct damage spell.
In Arena, it's pretty close to the top, I think. But you don't want too many. If you have like 6 or 7 backstabs, and you just like don't draw your creatures, you're gonna lose to like mid-game priest. So, and there's a lot of mid-game priest in Arena, if you guys are not familiar with it. Because they just don't kill any of the big creatures. Yeah, you just can't go like too crazy with backstabs.
Okay, Trump, you think it's one of the best?
Yeah, but I'd pick 4. It's
4.
All right, I could maybe see 4.
Nice.
But I think when it comes to like 5, you really need to like pick anything except backstab. Is my point. Because they can be dead cards. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to preparation. We'll have you start this one, Trump.
Yeah, all right. I'll try to keep it snappy on these.
This fly through
preparation. This place has no place in Arena. The only thing you can really combo it with is Assassinate or Sprint, and it's not worth for that.
Okay.
I mean, there are some horrible epic cards, but this is pretty much among them. It's very, very low value. I can see people picking this if they happen to draw like 2 auctioneers, and I have had that. So, meh.
Okay.
Usually horrible, but sometimes okay.
Cool. Shadow Step, Crip, lead off.
Similar to preparation, where it just often doesn't do enough, but it's okay. You can do some cool stuff, but I don't know. It's just like really, really sketchy stuff. You can't like get all the puzzle pieces of a Miracle Rogue deck in Arena unless you get really lucky, and you have to get that by making bad picks from the beginning. Yeah. And that's just not going to happen.
Okay.
Well, most of the time, I guess.
All right. Let's see. Next up, we got Cold Blood. Oh, actually, Trump. Actually, your opinions on Shadow Step first. Anything?
Yeah, it's mostly useless. Some people point out that with the Defias Ringleader, you get a 2/1 for 0, but Wisp is a 1/1 for 0, and it's still bad. 2/1 is slightly better, but still generally not worth it, and that's sort of one of the best case scenarios. It's not quite that bad, since you can use it to sort of heal, but it takes a lot of mana.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, yep.
All right, Cold Blood. Trump starts off.
So this one's fairly interesting. It shares... It's very similar to Power Overwhelming in that, from the Warlock, which is +4/+4, but then dies, in that you'll usually... Well, a common use for it is to cast it on a minion and then trade it with something big. So you cast it on a small minion, you trade it with like an ogre, and it sort of serves the general same purpose as Execute, Power Overwhelming, a lot of those types of situational removals. It has the extra utility that you can actually use it to buff and hit the face. So, I think it's generally below average.
Okay, Crip?
I think I agree with below average, but it's not on the league of stuff like Shadow Step, in my opinion. Like, it's a card that can actually do stuff that can impact the game, and in some case actually win you the game. So it's okay. Like, there's a lot of crap commons. Can do something.
Good stuff. Okay, next up, Conceal.
Conceal is a pretty interesting card. If you're like really ahead and you're about to like win and you're playing a control deck or something, which there's decent amount of in Arena,
Mm-hmm.
theoretically you can do stuff. The last time I ran into Conceal, I flared it, kill all the stuff. So I don't know. I think it just doesn't do enough in general in Arena.
All right, Trump.
Can be okay.
Yeah, Conceal sort of shares the same general card type as Bloodlust in that it'll sometimes pull out a game, but those times where it does, it's situational, and a lot of the times it does nothing. So
Okay.
I think it's bad.
All right. Next up, we got Deadly Poison, +2 attack on weapon. Trump.
One of the best cards in Rogue, maybe the best card in Rogue. No, second, third best, maybe the best common. Maybe the second best common. Anyways, it's really good, and it basically is 1 mana to deal 4 damage over time, since your hero ability is always giving you a weapon, and that's 4 damage to 2 minions, or 2 damage to 2 minions apiece. It's very strong. You can use it to combo also, since it costs so few mana.
Okay.
It's great.
Yep. It's basically Fire War Axe, except it costs more mana and you already have a weapon anyway. But it has a bigger surprise factor because you can do turn 3 Deadly Poison like Defiance or something. So with the combo stuff, it's pretty nice, and just often they don't expect it. I see people playing around Fire War Axe. I don't see people playing around Deadly Poison. So maybe
Okay.
that'll change.
All right. Sinister Strike.
This card blows.
This card sucks. Next.
This is like the
Alright,
Downs version
alright.
of Mind Blast.
Yeah, that's probably true. All right. Any other comments? We can skip it. All right.
Actually, okay, so I'll direct this towards new
Alright,
players. They'll be like, wow, 1 mana to deal 3 damage. That's
Okay,
one of
here
the
we go.
best ratios in the game. But it's 3 damage to the hero, and health doesn't matter until the end, generally. It can be used for combos, but still not good. Just take our word for it.
Yep. Okay. Betrayal.
Okay, so this is an interesting one. It has the very specific requirement that the opponent needs at least 2 minions, and then sometimes it still doesn't kill anything, but 2 mana for... I will call this hard enough removal that I can generally put it in with the Assassinate and Eviscerate category, and sometimes at 2-for-1s. I think it's good. If you had to ask me whether Betrayal or Eviscerate was better, I would have a hard time answering. I would probably say Eviscerate, but it's fairly good.
Crip. What do you think of that?
I wouldn't have as hard a time as
Yeah.
answering that. I think Eviscerate is way better because as a rogue, you're going to win by not letting him have anything. Betrayal is pretty good because if you play a lot of the decks that have the mid-game creatures and they have the edge, and you can kind of get away with killing 1, maybe even 2 mid-game creatures, and that's what you're going to be weak against. So I can see getting like 1, maybe 2 betrayals, like insurance against some of these decks, but against a lot of others, it's absolute dead weight. So I don't know. I'd be pretty careful picking too many of these. Maybe 1, maybe 2.
I agree,
Following,
it's one of those cards where you definitely can have too many of.
okay, following up
wouldn't
with
pick more than
the other, I guess, board clearing, or just one of the other board clearing cards for Rogue, Blade Flurry. What do you guys think of this in Arena versus in Constructed? Like, could you pick this card early in Arena? I mean,
I think it's just as bad in Arena as it is in Constructed.
okay.
Meaning it's horrible. You can't guarantee that you'll get a weapon,
Mhm.
and getting 2 weapons is bad, and you still have to combo with it. And it's not a great combo because you're probably killing off all the creatures as the turns go by. Like it's an okay card if you're losing badly and have a weapon, which I don't know.
Okay, Trump, what do you think?
Unlikely.
Yeah, this card sucks. One of the best case scenarios, well, one of the average case scenarios is you deal 3 damage to everything, and that means you've broke your either deadly poisoned weapon or you broke your Assassin's Blade, and it's just not worth it.
Okay, let's move on to Scrub, and it's just so fitting. We'll let Trump take Scrub. Trump gets Scrub first. So what do you think of Scrub?
I wonder why it's fitting. Anyways,
Just because
yeah.
Just...
Obviously, we all know this card as "This is our town, Scrub."
There
Yeah,
you
beat
go.
it.
Exactly.
And it's just absolutely great. It got nerfed like a month ago from a 2-3 to a 2-2, and thank goodness it did, because it is still very good and played in all constructed decks, and certainly highly picked in Arena. It's 4/3 value for 2.
Crip.
It's
Oh.
fantastic.
Okay, Crip. What do you think?
I don't really like this card too much. I played a deck yesterday with 3 Scrubs. I went 9-1, and I played a turn 1 Scrub 1 time. It was against the Mage. He pinged the 2/1, and then he played like an Amani Berserker or something. So
It's not only useful in turn 1 though. I mean, I've come across Scrubs where they play it to refill a board later. And it's a
Yeah.
pain in the ass. I mean,
it's alright. Like, I remember another game where I was playing against a Paladin, and I had all 3 in my hand. I think I had 2 in my hand, and I drew one as I was playing them. And, like, I'd play one and be like, will he consecrate? It's like, maybe. He doesn't consecrate. And I play the second one, and then consecrate. Right? So,
yeah.
it feels a bit vulnerable that it's not 2/3. Though, on the flip side, if you scrub like a priest, okay, then, good luck with that. Like, turn 1 scrub against priest is pretty much a win. These classes that have really, really bad hero abilities are gonna get destroyed by this. But in Arena, you're gonna see a lot of the stronger classes. So I don't know.
Okay.
It's a good card. I have to agree. I just don't like it as much as most people. I don't think it's that good.
Okay. Next up is Eviscerate, and Trump kind of brought up Eviscerate, comparing, I guess, that and Betrayal. What do you think, Crip?
I think this card is OP. Usually, if you play Rogue, you have enough 2-drops to where you can, at the very least, use it on 4. And if you use it on 4, you're going to get a huge tempo advantage. You're going to make the other guy really sad, which is always great. And you can kill people with it.
Trump?
I actually think that this is the general level of spell that should be in a card. Like, even if it was just, like, specifically if it was just directed for minions for others. Like, because right now, just on a tangent on Constructed, right now the aggro is running rampant because the control cards, which are spells, cost too much to play to kill stuff. And, like, Eviscerate actually costs cheap enough that it's good. And of course it's very good in Arena too, because it's sort of hard kill for... Well, not hard kill, it kills a lot of stuff for 2, and it's amazing because of that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, next up we got the little Patient Assassin. Epic card here. Trump?
I'm a big fan of this card. Certainly it can get randomly killed by bombers, Cone of Colds, other random stuff like AoE, but I'm not afraid of playing this on turn 2 and just letting it sit and then trading it for like a 4, or you can even just trade this 2 for a 2, and even then it serves its purpose. So I think Patient Assassin is quite good.
Alright, Crip?
I'm going to go from experience on this one. I think I've been punished by this card 1 time in Arena ever. The other times it's been bombed to death, swiped to death, Cone of Colded to death. I don't know. It's nothing. It never does anything. So, I don't know. Maybe it's good against noobs.
Wow.
Okay.
Maybe you overextend against AoE.
It never does anything. You're like, Patient Assassin, like, okay, Mad Bomber. And then when the Mad Bomber, it's between the Mad Bomber or the other creature, the Mad Bomber will deliver. And he always delivers against Patient Assassin.
That's a good one. Okay, so next one, Sap. Let's move on to Sap here.
I think Sap is pretty good, but it's not for really all that many decks. If you're playing like a fast tempo-y deck, a lot of twos, a lot of eviscerates, scrubs, that kind of stuff, Sap is going to win you games. Otherwise, it's going to suck. Like, really suck. No.
Wait, I want to
You
go
know-
back to Patient Assassin because we seem to
Okay.
disagree so much on that.
All right, let's go
think
back to
it's
Patient
actually
Assassin.
on the level of Emperor Cobra, which I also think is a very good card. It's one of those low drops, which is even great in the late game. This one, it can't even get killed by random hero abilities or whatnot. The only thing it can get killed by is AoE and random bombers, which you play this, you take out their 6, you take out their Iron Bark Protector. It feels so good. It's awesome.
Yeah, but I've never seen that happen. Like, I think this has killed, like, a Yeti once. And then, like, the next biggest thing that it's killed is, like, a damaged 3/3 creature or something. I don't know, it always sucks.
I mean,
I've
if
never
your
seen it
2-drop
delivered.
kills a 3/3 minion, that's also still good.
Yeah, that's
Um,
true. It's not
if it-
epic good, but it's
Damaged
good.
3/3, it's like an even trade.
Okay,
It's-
well, I
it's-
mean, I thought you said
it's
damage
like-
2/3/3.
It's like saying the 3/3 pirate for 3 is good. Because it's the epic slot. I don't know. No, this card sucks.
This card is great. Anyways.
Oh, we're gonna have to get the viewers' take on this card. I've rarely used it, so I actually have not too much opinion on it. Okay, Sap. We're back to Sap. Trump, gotta get your opinion on Sap.
What was your too long didn't read opinion, Krip?
Good if you have a lot of the other good rogue cards and you just out-tempo them. Otherwise, pretty horrible.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. In fact, I tend to lean on the side that Sap is just generally bad because I tend to disrespect the tempo cards more than most, I would say, because they tend to be strict card disadvantage, though of course you gain a tempo advantage. It's better in an aggressive deck than a control deck. And I think even in an aggressive deck it's bad, but I'm willing to humor that it could be good there.
Well, it's like when you have a ton of small creatures and you're a rogue, being on the receiving end of that is like, I want to play a big creature. They're always like, are you going to play a big creature? Here's a Sap. And then they lose. That's what I've experienced. A lot of my losses lately have been to like aggro-ish, tempo-ish decks. And I started to play a little bit more like that in the arena. I think it works.
Okay,
That's fair. I would argue in general in Arena it's lower, so the Sap tempo thing tends to not be worth the card in my experience, but I am
Yeah,
willing
you,
to...
you do need the deck for it. That's true.
Mhm. Fair enough.
Okay, next up, Shiv. Trump.
This card I have as slightly below average, or even pretty below average. 2 mana just to deal a damage. Doesn't do enough. That's all I have.
All right, Krip.
I don't know. I play Rogue a decent amount, and I haven't played this card in like a month. I just haven't seemed to get it too much. But I don't know. It seems okay. Seems a little slow, but it's Rogue. You can probably make up for it a little bit.
Okay.
It's okay.
Next.
There's much worse commons in theory, so I'm sure you can get this in your deck sometimes.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we got Edwin Van Cleve, who usually ends up being 8/8 when I play against him. What do you think of that, Krip?
This card is OP.
It's pretty sick.
I like to coin Cleef on 2.
Coin Cleve. Okay.
Yep.
4/4.
So
Nice.
this card is like almost always insane. Yeah, that's about it. Never really get to play him in arena though, 'cause it's legendary.
Yeah. Trump.
And there's
Yeah.
a few more interesting ones.
I agree with Krip that coin turn 2 Edwin Van Cleef is a very strong play. And yeah, even better might be, say, turn 2 Dagger, turn 3 Deadly Poison coin Van Cleef. That would be really sick.
That would be
Those are
pretty
just pretty
Yeah.
common scenarios, and Edwin Van Cleef is just really good.
Okay.
It's
moving-
value as long as you play one card before it, so you don't need to like go all the way.
Yep.
Yeah. Next up, Fan of Knives. Another board clear card for the Rogue. What do you think, Trump?
Card is okay to slightly below average. I have it generally lying around the average rating. 1 damage to everything is not too much. That's all I have.
Krip?
Yeah, I wouldn't call it a board clear because 1 damage is not very much. It only clears like really terrible cards, like Patient
I knew that was coming. I knew that was coming, dude. I knew that
Part
was
of why
coming.
Assassin is good, because no one runs Fan of Knives and Arcane Explosion. If those cards were more prevalent, then the Patient Assassin would suck more. But thankfully, Fan of Knives and Arcane Explosion is generally thought of as bad enough that they don't get ran very often.
Alright, moving on. Headcrack. Krip, what do you think of Headcrack? Ever since it's been changed to 3 mana, I almost never see
it's
this.
actually one of the worst cards ever.
Yeah,
and I've
well,
seen people play cards that shouldn't be played just to combo. Like, I think
Wow, okay.
some guy destroyed his like Assassin's Blade with 2 durability for Perdition's Blade just to combo the Headcrack. Like maybe the day before yesterday. So stuff like that.
Okay, Trump? Thoughts on Headcrack?
I thought the card was not very good when it cost 2. Now it's even worse.
Alright, that's pretty simple, that one. Partition's Blade. Trump.
This is a really good weapon. It can 3 for 1, although usually it's more of a 2 for 1. Weapons tend to be strong. This one isn't an exception. Mostly because of the battle cry, though. The 2 damage is surprisingly small. That's all.
Okay.
Yep. I don't think it's like super incredible anymore. It used to be really good when you could buff the hero power to make this do 3 damage.
Mhm.
But usually you use it as like a removal spell. Like you use the combo plus an attack to kill something. And then you have a little bit of extra damage for another turn, which can be good. And if you have Deadly Poison, it puts your weapon to the 4 range, which can be good. It's good, but yeah, it's not insane or anything.
Okay, the Agent.
This card is insane.
I forgot, didn't you say this was it you that said that this was probably the best 3 card? Somebody said this was like the best 3 card recently.
There's a few.
Yeah.
There's a few, yeah. There's like I don't know, there's a Peacekeeper, but the Peacekeeper, now that a lot of people play like faster decks, is not actually as good. I think SI Agent is actually the best 3-drop. And it's very important because 3-drops are really bad in general. Like 4-drops are like super good mid game, 2-drops are like, board setters, and 3-drops are kind of like whatever. They're mostly closer to 2-drops. And because this kills a 2-drop instantly and trades with a 4 and most 5-drops, it's like really nuts. Some of the moves that I've done when I play Rogue is just like you coin the Argent on 2, you killed their 2-drop, you have a 3/3. So I don't know, it's just so overpowered. But it's a rare, so luckily you don't encounter this too much. I think I had the turn 1 Juggler, turn 2 give it Divine Shield, and the Rogue had a weapon out. He attacked it. The Rogue attacked the shield, and then he backstabbed the Juggler, and then he SI agented the Argent Protector, and then I lost the match. I couldn't play like anything after that. So I had the best possible Paladin opener in the game, and I got crushed. OP. AFK.
Definitely OP. Yep. Trump? Any other last
you said
comments
it
on
really
this?
well, Krip.
Yeah.
It's one of the strongest cards in the game.
All right. Okay, next up is Master of Disguise. Trump?
This card it might have some fringe uses in Constructed, although they take too long to set up. In Arena, the uses are even more fringe because you can't build your deck around having something specific to give stealth. 4 mana for a 4/4 is below par. below the Yeti par, and generally not good enough, I would say.
Grip?
Uh, yeah.
or-
I think if you play Cult Masters, it's pretty good. But I don't know. I've used it a few times with, the plan that'd be pretty overpowered in some scenarios, but haven't done anything too crazy with it yet. So maybe it is pretty meh.
All right, next up, Assassinate Rogue's single card removal spell here at 5. Krip, what do you think?
This is one of my highest picks in Arena, just because I normally don't pick very many high minions as Rogue, and Assassinate just lets you do whatever you want. Easy game.
How many would you carry in your hand?
In your hand, you mean your deck?
In your deck, yeah.
I think I had a deck with 3 yesterday, and that turned out very well.
Nice.
Maybe
Trump.
5 max, I don't know.
Nice. Trump, what do you think?
The card is basically the basic card that all destroy an enemy minion cards are based off of. Like Siphon Soul costs 1 more, there's some that do less but cost less. This is the basic card that just hard kills a guy. And they've decided to cost it at 5. I think, at first I thought this was really strong, but over time, it seems to, as the arena mana curves have gotten smaller and smaller, this card seems less good. It's still great, but I'm just not quite as excited about Krip as it. Like, I still have it ranked in the top 25 percentile, or maybe even top 20%. It's great, just not super great. That's all.
Got it. Cool. Well, Assassin's Blade, the big weapon for the rogues. Trump, what do you think?
This card's really good. It's usually about a 3-for-1, and it's a strong weapon. Let's see. I would like to mention that I would not carry more than 2 in a deck, although I would really want to pick 2, because it has so much durability.
Grip?
Yeah. I think Assassin's Blade is good. I don't go crazy for it in my early picks. I'm kind of happy with 1, maybe 2, as Trump mentioned.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You can't use too many of these. 1, because they're dead cards and you draw them all at the same time, because 4 durability is a lot of turns, and 2 because, well, you're gonna kill yourself.
Yeah. Okay, next up is Kidnapper, which is a card I can say I've never used. So, Krip, what do you think is Kidnapper?
Card is pretty hilarious, but it's just not good enough. It's like it's missing 5 stats for its mana cost, which is a bit too much.
5 stats. Okay, yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Trump?
Yeah, one idea that I saw is something that I don't even think would be overpowered, is you return a minion to your hand, like even if it's the other guy's, and then that's like fitting into the flavor of kidnapping. But yeah, right now it sucks.
All right, moving on. We got Vanish. Crazy.
I don't even know when this card would be played and actually be good. Seems to be in some sort of fringe combo deck where you just want to delay, sort of like Frost Nova. It might be cool, but no, it just sucks.
I've seen 1 or 2 decent vanishes as like a silenced questing adventure and like some other dinky card, and I just got done playing my 4 Chillwind Yeti equivalents and then vanished. I'm like, well, damn, it's okay. Like some scenarios it's okay. In most scenarios it's really bad. Yeah.
Okay. And last but not least, Sprint. Draw 4 cards.
I think this is one of the best rogue cards, even now that it is faster tempo. You only need 1 in your deck, and if you have 1 in your deck, you probably won't run out of cards. So I think it's awesome.
Trump?
This is one of the cards that I have continuously warned as not being as good as it looks, and I'm glad that Kripparrian mentioned that you want 1 in your deck, I'll agree with that. You want one in your deck. You don't want two. That's all.
Wow, two. You do some serious card draw. Yeah, two. Be amazing. All right. Any last words on Rogue, guys, before we call it for this topic segment?
Rogue's pretty good in Arena.
How do you rank it in Arena, class-wise?
I don't know. I haven't really thought about it too much because I was like, I don't play the OP stuff, and right now the OP stuff is just mage, so I don't play much mage.
Nice.
But whenever I play Rogue, I'm like, oh, it's nerfed, but I don't know. I think my last 4 or 5 times I've got 9, so I can't really complain.
Yeah,
Sure.
I
think
tend
it's pretty
to
good.
not have a tier list for them because I think they're generally all balanced. So right now my tier list consists of all the classes generally at the top, except Hunter,
Except Hunter.
which is bottom
Yeah.
tier. So we got a 8-way tie for first, and then we got Hunter.
All right. Very, very good. Okay, that's going to wrap up our Rogue card analysis segment here, and we're going to move on into the kind of scenario analysis, I guess you could say. But we're going to take a quick break so I can set this up a little bit, and then we'll be right back. Be right back.
Ooh, puzzles.
Puzzles are always fun.